My good boy. That's it. You are such a nice young man. What are we gonna do today? Yes, a good dog. Yes, the good boy. That's good. That's right. This is good boy. This is a nice boy. This is a nice boy. That's good. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Very good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good boy, isn't it? Very nice boy. Who did a good boy? That's very nice. Oh, that's a good boy. Good dog boy. Very nice. Very nice. That's a good dog. That's a great boy. It's a good boy. That's very nice. Good dog. Very good. That's a very nice boy. Very nice boy. Oh, yes, it is. You can go all the way. There you go. There you go. That's all right. Yeah. That's it, isn't it? Is that why you're here, huh? Yeah. Oh, no. See ya. Yeah. So the way I felt when I looked at those gentlemen, when we drove by them, I'm able to make him feel that way. With the look of the eye. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that you can't fake. Good boy. Okay, so he laid down. Right here is what I wanted to point out. This position here, when I'm just keeping him from lifting up all the way, he's either gonna stay, hold the cranking his neck up, which gets tiring, or he's going to lay down, and when or he's going to try to push past me. If he tries to push past me, that's where he gets corrected. He takes a deep breath and lays down. I let him go by patting him and say, good boy. But once you get them to that final step, they don't want to put their head down, and they absolutely know what you're suggesting for them to do, because this is a natural thing for them. So I'm asking him to lay here and not take his only weapon, which is his teeth, that's his gun, and point it towards me while I'm trying to do his nails. And I know he has a history of fighting and doing whatever he does when the owners do the nails. He's literally here just for us to do nails, so however bad it is, right? He never had struck at me before, and he does not have a bite history. However, when you dig deep with a dog's behavior and you get into a situation like this where you're saying, I need you to put your head down and not move, that's where you really find out what the dog really is underneath it all when it comes down to confrontation. How does the dog behave in confrontation? All right? This is a good dog. This is a good shepherd. I really enjoy him. I think his temperament is really, really good. I think his bite threshold is really high, actually, which means he's not likely to bite over small things, or even being put under pressure like this. He never once showed me his teeth. He never once threatened me, but he did say, I don't want to. That's all. okay? Now, I trained him, right? So he has a little memory, he has some memories of me, but it was a long time ago. When we were in that position where I'm asking him to go all the way on his side, and he's kind of tense and he's cranking his neck up, and I just have my hand here, yes, the e-collar will, when it's the final product, the e-collar will get this because that'll be the association. But in order to get the association, he looks me dead in the eyes, and what he's doing is he's reading me. He's seeing who I am, what I'm made of. He's giving me a quick run up and down of judgment. And if he sees weakness, he might try something. We're sitting here and we're having confrontation. He looks me in the eyes. He can feel when I put it on, when I enter that state, which is potential danger, so show respect. Or, if it's worth it, fight. But you can see it, it's in the eyes, you can feel it. Some people might call it energy or demeanor, right? If you don't have that little missing link, who knows what could happen, right? That's that little thing where in the twinkle of your eye, you can see if the dog is game or if they're just kind of bluffing and bratty. And he can do the same to me. He can see, is he game or is he just kind of bluffing? And, fortunately for me, I'm game. I'm game enough. I'm not game as those guys I've seen today, and I recognize that in a heartbeat. I mean, I could be if I was put in that position and I was, I had to live like that. But, those guys were game. Those guys were game. And so I'm more game than him, than this guy. Naturally, just training aside, I'm more game than this dog, meaning I'm willing to fight more than he is. I'm willing to be injured for respect. I'm willing to have a brawl for respect. That's just part of my upbringing, part of who I am. He's not that. He wants to avoid it. So therefore I can glare at him, I can look at him a certain way, and he gives it. He submits, if you will. Right? That submission is a state of mind, and that's being captured on the e-collar. Now the e-collar becomes associated with submission. So next time we need to do this, and the owner's doing this, all they have to do is click this sensation, and it reminds him to go into the state of mind. To that block. I block him from standing. He only has a couple options here. Good boy. But that correction is going to teach him this position and this state of mind during nails. So that means that Julie's going to be able to do it, and then the owner's going to be able to do it. Because I captured the association of submitting to the sensation of the e-collar stem during the context of getting his nails done. That tells him this is your way out. When dogs fight, there needs to be a way out, otherwise they kill each other all the time. And the way out is submitting or running away if you can get away. But if you can't get away, this is your way out of confrontation when you've got in over your head with another dog. Same with a guy. You give up and it spares your life. So it's a mechanism that they all know how to do and should learn how to do. They should learn how to do. And it's one that we're saying, if you want to not get into confrontation with me, when you hear me and you feel this stem, and I need in this confrontation that we're in, I need you to submit. And it doesn't always look like a side thing. They can be standing and submit. It's mental, but for this exercise, it's on the side because it's practical, because we need to do the nails. Plus, in real world, if I was a dog, this is how it would end. He would either be on his side or on his back, and just allowing the other dogs to sniff on him without coming up. And if you try to bring his little gun up there, they would, right? So this is dog whispering, I suppose. And I think what dog whispering is when humans learn dog behavior and understand dogs enough where they can interact almost, with a dog way of thinking. That's dog whispering. Use your body and eye contact and your energy and your demeanor and your understanding of how they operate within a pack to have control. We're doing that, but we're also using modern day e-collar technology, which allows us to create associations. So I can give an owner something that I couldn't give them before this. Before the e-collar, I could do the dog's nails. I could submit him, he would submit for me, he'd be good for me. But he wouldn't be good for the owner, right? What I can do is create the association to the state of mind that I want, which is submission, to the sensation of the e-collar. So when he feels e-collar stem, he knows to do this, and e-collar stem will no longer happen. Okay, so that is the best we can do for the owner. Now, if the owner uses this properly and has the right mentality towards the dog and understands how to treat them, the success rate is extremely high. If the owner uses this properly but doesn't have the right mentality, but has a difficult dog, the dog sees through it and will always challenge them, but eventually kind of give them what they want. But they will challenge them a little bit because they know you're not the real deal, but okay because you have this. Okay, now if you're not using the techniques right and you don't have the right mentality, it'll all fall apart. You're looking for the right mentality. Why mentality? Because your mentality or your belief system, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, informs your decisions. The way you believe, the things you believe in, your morals, everything, all this is why this is more than dog training. That informs how you react to your dog when it's trying to attack another dog or bark out the window or pour you down the street. Your belief system and your morals and your upbringing is going to inform, and your experiences, right? Up to this point, is going to inform how you react. Okay? He was always going to pull somebody. He was always going to fight them for trying to do nails or restrain him in any way. Is how that person reacted when it happened to them. Is what shapes how the dog treats them. That's relationship. We're getting it, right? So if the dog doesn't respect you, you see trainers say that all the time. It means in the situations where you could have garnered respect because there was confrontation, you took the easy road by leaving the dog be or giving them what they wanted. Now that gives you the opposite of respect. And then you're treated as such. So, everything we do with him, the interactions we have with him throughout the day, every day, will inform how he treats us when it comes to situations like this, where I really need control because I need to do your nails. My relationship with him, by the end of the week, he's going to do this so easily for me, it's not going to be a problem. But it's not just because I know how to do the techniques, it's also because who I am to him as an animal. The way I interact with him. When he comes up and body checks me and I don't like it, what do I do? Versus what this person does or this person does. What do I do when he starts pulling on me on the leash versus what this person does or this person does? That's what shapes your relationship, the way the dog views you. And that's why they treat different people different ways. They want to do what's fun. They want to do what their instincts tell them what to do, right? They have that. And they also just want to do what's fun all the time. What's comfortable, what's fun. That's just what we want to do too. And so when you go and say, I don't want you to do that right now, how does the dog react? And then more importantly, how do you react to your dog reacting that way? That's the real important part. And that's mentality, and that's probably experience too. I'm going to get on to doing his nails, and we're going to get Julie doing it on the next session, or the end of this session here, just so it can get transferred to somebody other than me, because if I can give it to somebody who just knows how to operate the system, and doesn't know how to do like the dog whisper and stuff, and the dog treats them the same, then we know we're ready to go to the owners, okay? Sometimes you need 3 hands for this stuff, because what I'm trying to do is, see how he pulls away? Boom. I want to correct when he pulls away. I want to get that done before I start even trying to do the nails. Because that's a behavior, right? So the trigger is this being on and me touching his nails equals him pulling his arm back. The behavior I want to get away with is him pulling his arm back. So before I try to even do the nails, I'm going to work on that behavior choice, because that's a choice. That's 100%. He's choosing to do that. So what do? Is I create a trigger, so that means I can reliably, the trigger triggers the behavior that I want to either reinforce or get rid of, right? So the trigger this time is this being on and me just touching the nail, right? Pulls back. When he pulls back, in order to decrease the behavior, what do? You punish it. Those are the science, that's the science terminology, right? So as soon as he pulls away, correction on the e-collar. So that he understands I don't like it. I start low first so that he understands that he's doing something I don't like, but if he continues to do it, I give him something firmer. And then what happens is he stops pulling away, and I do the nails, and then I say, good boy, and now we're building a belief system. So next time's easier, and next time's easier. So I'm breaking down the little things that equal a shit show. I'm going after all the little behavioral choices. Pulling the leg away, that's one of them. Resisting to lay down, that's one of them, right? All these, state of mind being hyper aroused, that's one of them. We go after them and pick them away so that the association is this. This is what we need, okay? So, it takes sessions, a few sessions to get this done. you get what's called a startle reflex. That's a little different, like this, you know. But what happens is, you see that first jerk? Look at that. Okay, so I touched him and he jerked. I touched him the second time, it was last. I touched him the third time and it stopped. That's how you know it's startle response, okay? Okay? Right? So we're working them through that now. This is all little, when people say there's finesse in this stuff, this is what they mean. Like how do you, other than watching it, how do you explain to somebody how to do this? Okay, same amount of tap, and he stops jerking, right? Now we're starting to teach him.